Welcome back to World of Warships Legends, and quite possibly my favorite ship and my favorite map in this entire game. Still not sure if it's Bismarck or Massachusetts, but I mean, this game really made me feel like it's gotta be Bismarck. This ship is just so much fun in this game because it's just so close range compared to PC. There are so many people that just push in or stay at close range. There's just so much less sniping. The game feels far more fast-paced and much more interesting to play. I'm really enjoying my time with this game. And part of that might be down to I don't play it that often. You know, I hop on and play a game or two and then I hop off. Whereas on PC, I've in the past tended to stream for extended periods of time and then I get burnt out on the game after hours and hours of playing the same thing. I start to get frustrated, right? Whereas limiting the amount of time you play something, you're probably going to enjoy it a little bit more when you do. So being bow in here is actually a pretty okay play at the moment. Playing B on this map in general is just hard because, well, you tend to get crossfired pretty easily by the other guys that spawn in the middle, and then of course you can see how the enemy team also is able to just shoot me from the C cap where they spawn. So this isn't an easy position to play, but with the right upgrades on the Bismarck, like we have right now, we've got over 11 kilometer range secondaries. Funnily enough, my main gun range is somewhere in the 16 kilometers right now since I don't have the range upgrade quite yet. So our secondaries are not quite, but they are almost as long range as our main guns. And I find that hilarious and a lot of fun to play around with. I'm also running the propulsion mod. For those of you who don't know how this one works in Legends, it not only gives you faster acceleration, both when you're accelerating forward and when you're accelerating backwards, but it increases your maximum reverse speed as well. So playing bow in and getting stuck bow in is not as much of a death sentence in this game. That's something I've really had to relearn, I guess, is how to play a battleship in this game. You are much more capable of just sitting bow in. You don't really want to do that kite away type of thing or angle away. It's actually a little bit worse because your armor is worse from the rear since you don't have that quite as pointed nose, and the massive speed in reverse just allows you to get out of bad situations almost as quickly as if you were going straight forward. So it's a weird game mechanic compared to what I'm used to on PC, but I really like it. It allows me to play a lot more aggressive and maybe get myself into some of these more crazy situations. Secondaries, of course, in this game, you can shoot them off both sides, just like in PC, but the secondary accuracy consumable that we're using right now, it actually affects both sides. So it's actually really kind of good to get in between people and get your secondaries accurately off at two targets at once. And we've already racked up a massive amount of secondary hits, almost getting close to 100 secondary hits already, and this game has barely started. I just love the way this game plays. I don't ever feel like I'm bored. That's the really nice thing. The PC game, you get that, you know how it is, right? You're got that 5-minute introductory period to a match where everybody sits in spawn still, or they find an island to spam over. And then once you can finally get into that, maybe 10 minutes into a match, some people have died, then you can start to play the game and actually push up and do some stuff like this. Whereas Legends just starts there. It's great. I really like it. As for the Bismarck in this game, some people have told me that it has better accuracy than on the PC game, and so far I haven't really seen that. To be fair, I'm not really running an accuracy build, but sometimes you get some good RNG and you just get 2 citadels out of 2 hits and you dev strike someone. But the main draw for me is that the secondaries have the same range on this ship as they do on PC, pretty much. I don't quite have my captain fully upgraded. I'm not sure what the theoretical maximum is on this thing, but it's basically the same secondary range as on PC, but the engagement distances are just so much closer. So it feels to me like I'm more effective when I'm playing a Bismarck than I am on PC, right? So really good time in this ship, and if you're a brawling battleship player on PC and you just happen to have a console, I think Bismarck is a worthy grind to get. Unfortunately, you do have to RNG your way into the correct captain, or if you pick it up right now, you can buy, I know, pay to win, buy, but you can actually buy a commander from the Halloween pack called Henry Hyde. He gives you accuracy and the secondary range all at once, so that's someone I need to work on leveling up. But currently I'm running one of the Weeb commanders. Again, it is kind of pay to win, I'm not gonna lie, the way these commander systems work. The ones that you pay for in these special collaborations tend to be a little better than the ones that are just in the base game. So that's pretty much one of the only downsides to this game, I would say. But if you are willing to spend a little bit of money, I'm not saying you should, because again, I don't necessarily agree with a lot of things Wargaming is doing, but if you enjoy the game and you are willing to spend just a little bit of money, you can get these really insane commanders that buff your ships massively, and help to craft a pretty fun gaming experience. Now, this match in particular is a bit of a rare one because it's actually close. Just like on PC, you're gonna get the same number of absolute blowouts. Your team wins, the enemy team wins, and there's nothing you can do about it. Just like on PC, there's no difference there. So these really close, tight games where your decisions matter and your positioning and your play matters to win and carry out these matches, they're a little bit rare, but when they do happen, they are so much fun. Just like on PC, I really do have a good time with it. So with the Bismarck, you can kind of craft these fun matches, even in the blowouts. You just gotta full set charge into people and just hope for the best. And with that, it doesn't always work out, but in a game like this, it happened to work out for us pretty well. Having somewhat of a tank build, we do have 4 heals on this ship, and since most battleships only get 3, that is actually a pretty nice boost for this ship, especially when brawling. I've also found that Bismarck armor works really well in this game. It's probably down to people not knowing where to aim correctly, but it tends to work out pretty well. If you're curious how we were able to kill that North Carolina through his bow so easily, it's because he's a tier lower than us, and they've made some changes to the North Carolina to balance it at a tier lower than Bismarck, so the entire bow is overmatchable. That's one of the things, but it's still a monster at that lower tier, so you might see that in the future, because I really do love playing the North Carolina. But one of the things you have to worry about when you're in a Bismarck is a Gneiss now rushing you, because while he is a tier lower than you, at close range he has torpedoes, and you don't. So to deal with that, I tend to at least be somewhat willing to give broadside to his guns. I am not as scared of his guns at these ranges as I am of those torpedoes. Luckily, we do finally get Hydro. I was kind of surprised, but I guess it makes sense that you only get Hydro once you get to the Bismarck on the German battleship line, so it's very useful, but you only get 2 of them, and it's got a very long cooldown, so you really do need to pick and choose the times that you use it. Consumable usage is very crucial to having a good game in this ship. So we take out one side of his torp tubes, so I don't know if this is always the case, but it seems like after someone uses their torpedoes, it's more likely that you break them. But regardless, he didn't actually shoot off his right side torps, but we get hit by one of his left side torpedoes. We're up to 134k damage and a 2v2. Look at this. This is the perfect kind of game. If Wargaming, I don't really know how they could do the matchmaker to manufacture games like this more often, but this is the perfect kind of game for me. I would love it if I could have this every time. Even if I win or lose in this kind of scenario, I'm happy because I've had a great fun time brawling it out, and it's not decided. The game isn't just instantly decided in those first 5 minutes, so really nice thing to have. I'm checking the map there to see mainly who's left on the enemy team, and we got a Cleveland who had already killed 2 of my teammates, so I was a little worried about that. Cleveland is a very strong ship in this game, but he's on low HP, so we should be able to take him out. And then a Vladivostok left, so depending on how healthy that guy is, we could be in for a world of hurt and really need our destroyer to land some clutch torps, because I have 1 heal left and I'm on half HP and on fire. So this is not a decided game by any means at all. I take a risky damage con mainly because the Cleveland's behind an island, and I think I could kill him when he pops out before he's able to get a shot on me, and it's unlikely he'd get a fire anyway. So we still have that one secondary charge left, and I'm trying to wait on that, at least until I see the Vladivostok. For whatever reason, our DD decides to just push into a Cleveland. I see this a lot. Destroyer players in this game tend to just push radar cruisers. It's so strange. But we end up taking down the Cleveland, but he takes down our destroyer. So we're left in a 1v1 with a 3/4 HP Vladivostok. How is this going to work out? Well, I am trying to rush him and get his side. That is essentially the goal. This guy didn't quite know where to aim, so he shot our bow and we bounced it all. So we're gonna shoot a superstructure right here, trying not to hit the guns because we just shatter. I know I'll reload in time. He's gonna give me broadside here. This is juicy. I'm gonna try and get my back turrets in. And what's this? A lag spike from using Starlink. Oh no, and we're connected to the login screen. I gotta say, I was not happy about that. It happens so rarely. When I look on the statistics page for Starlink, it gives me, in the last 12 hours, the amount of beta downtime. And, well, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 20 seconds most of the time. So, in 12 hours, I managed to get that 10 to 20 seconds of downtime right as I'm trying to clutch out this game. But fortunately, we have secondaries, and they've been crushing this guy, and I somehow managed to stay angled. So we're back at it. And we're actually looking pretty good to win this one, somehow. Oh no, and it happens again. We get a huge lag spike, and again it kicks me out. That's so rare. I can't tell you how rare that is. And this is maybe not making Starlink look that good, but I'm not here to sell it. I'm just here to play on it, right? So I was a little bit frustrated by the 2 disconnects, and on top of that, it kicked me out to the login screen. That means it was a bigger drop, and normally I get that big lag spike where my ship and their ship freezes in place, and then a big catch-up happens, like a little rubber band of the connection resuming. But we're still alive. We're back in. I instantly hit my heal, and somehow we're still alive. This Vladivostok probably didn't know I disconnected based on how I was moving. My secondaries were probably still firing, so he felt like he needed to angle. And, well, my secondaries actually kind of ripped him up, huh? Like, my main guns have hardly done damage to this guy. That's how powerful these secondaries are sometimes. So, we've got 2 fires on him already. Nuts. I can't believe this result. I could not believe I was still alive after that. And on some pretty decent HP. So, I got very, very lucky with this one to finish it out. And there's our Kraken. Yes, Bismarck is a good time. And what a stressful experience that ending was. I thought I had the guy dead to rights when he turned broadside. Little did I know the internet might take that away from me. And there you go. Nearly 200k. So close to breaking that milestone. But was that 387 or 78 hits with our secondaries? Pretty insane. Nearly 3k base XP. So you wanted to know the captain? Well, the build I'm running is actually full secondaries. Even the 3 million upgrade. And yeah. Propulsion mod, super useful, and of course, the secondary range. Eventually, I do want to try a dispersion build, but for now, I'm running this Azure Lane Sharnor's Commander. Wargaming, please just let me turn it off. Just give me the option to turn the commander's, I don't know, visuals off, please. Just put a base bear commander. I don't want to look at this weeb softcore stuff, please. And this one's not even the worst one. Some of them look like children and they're dressed in that little clothing. So please, Wargaming, just let me turn it off. I don't want to see that. But regardless, this commander does give us better accuracy with our main guns as its base trait. And of course, with the full secondary build I'm running, we're getting out to 11.2 kilometers of firing range with our secondaries. It's a hilarious, super fun build and can definitely recommend it if you're trying out World Warships Legends. Go for the Bismarck. It's a good time. Anyways, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.